What are the greatest challenges facing Riverside County over the next 5 years, and why are you the best choice for the people?
The greatest challenge is we are facing an entirely different economy than we had the last 20 years. We are in a new game that is much more challenging for families, for students, for retirees. We cannot continue with the past 20 years and expect that to fix the next 20 years. We have to have new leadership at the top that says we are going to make this county the best place to live, the best place to find a job, the best place to retire. We have to have cooperation between nonprofits and the First District office. We have to have cooperation between the city councils, the school boards, the water boards, and the First District office. The First District office has to be open and accessible. Your phone calls returned, your letters returned. We have to have a whole new view about how we're going to dig out of the situation that California is in and bring jobs, and good paying jobs, to Riverside County, and that's going to take some new thinking, and I am honored to present that as my first efforts as soon as I walk in as a supervisor, to hold the county accountable for its conduct and the way it treats taxpayers and small business people coming in.
Mr. Buster.
Well, I think we've been very aggressive and very successful in our business areas, and I fail to hear any specifics coming out of my opponent at all. In fact, you know, part of the thing we look at is what have we done with our own economy? What have we done with our own budgets? In fact, my own office. I have the lowest office expenditures of all 5 supervisors by $250,000 a year less a year than the highest spending supervisor. Mr. Jeffries in his own office is one of the highest spending state legislators in his own office. Okay, and I could go on and on in this regard, but let me give you an example of the kind of things we need to do in government. I haven't mentioned this before. Is I went out and had a look at what could be more important than our 911 system when you have a life-threatening emergency, whether it's an accident out on the road or whether your spouse or someone has a heart attack or stroke. What could be more important than that? And yet, the connection between the fire dispatch and the ambulance was old-fashioned. It wasted a full minute. We immediately got that cut out. We got a new CAD connection in there to cut all these calls out. And now we're working on upgrading dispatchers, giving them even more training. Extremely important job. There'll be more jobs created in dispatchers, and it is a critical job. It should be very well paid, so that we can optimize the deployment of this very high-cost equipment and personnel in the future. That's the kind of restructuring that we need inside the government. That's what we expect. That's what business has to do as well.
Mr. Jeffries, rebuttal.
Here we go again. Let me correct the supervisor. Now, if you believe for 1 minute that a legislator in the minority party has one of the highest office budgets in the state, you have been drinking the wrong water, let me tell you, folks. The fact is, I have one of the lower budgets in the state legislature, and I'm proud of it. I don't have a choice. I'm in the minority party. That's the way the reality is in Sacramento. The other legislators have the ability to hide their salaries in their committees. I do not.
Mr. Buster, rebuttal.
Well, we can look at all that, and of course you weren't always in the minority party, and your expenditures are not the lowest; they're among the highest, as we've ascertained. But we're happy to look at it. But you know, all my expenditures, I look at things from a frugal standpoint, and that's the way I look at everything in the county. That's the way our staff now, with our new chief executive officer. He and his department heads have already gone through and haven't taken a doctrinaire approach. That's what my opponent would advise, that there's just this waste, and you just need to cut all the waste, and line item by line item. No, that's not how to do it. But he's cut $14 million, reduced our, without affecting our services.
Thank you. Okay, since Mr. Buster started us off with the opening statements, Mr. Jeffries will begin the closing statements.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to all of you tonight and share with you that My vision will be about accountability, helping small businesses, helping families. I'm running against an opponent who has the highest pension of any supervisor. I'm running against an opponent who has the highest salary of any supervisor. I am proposing tonight that I will bring to you a whole new vision and a whole new energy in the 1st District office. We have no choice but to turn around this county. And to do that, we cannot continue on the path we have been on for 20 years. It's time for some fresh ideas, new cooperation, and new leadership at the top. I have experience in local government and most importantly in the private sector and understand the challenges that everyone is facing when they're trying to deal with the County of Riverside. I understand the challenges that cities are having with the county. There's a reason, folks, there's a reason that Mayor Loveridge endorsed me. There's a reason that the Mayor of Wildemar endorsed me. There's a reason that the Howard Jarvis taxpayers have endorsed me. They are ready for some new leadership in the 1st District office. I believe my experience, my dedication to this county, dedication to families, to making this a great place to live, and respect private property rights will distinguish me from the incumbent and help with the recovery that we need and the changes that we must have in the county organization that will not occur if we continue on another term of the same old stuff. I would really appreciate your vote.
Mr. Buster.
Well, there are good reasons why I'm endorsed by the district attorney, by the County Medical Association, by 5 of the City of Riverside council members, by other council members from the other cities I represent, by both major newspapers in our district, and that's because I not only have experience, but I have a record of independent action on tough issues, often to my own political detriment, by the way. As pension issue, the union spent $400,000 in 2004 to try to oust me, another $250,000 to $3,000 in 2008. This time around, they spent over $300,000 on another candidate to try to get him into running to oust me. And yet I've survived, and we have won a major battle by getting these pension reforms through all 5 major units. And ourselves, Board of Supervisors, paying in advance, reducing our own salary for a whole year by 10%. Mr. Jeffries has not reduced his salary by 10% even for a year.
18%.
All right. He has not stepped forward to do this. Yet he considers it a part. He considers himself a small businessman, not an assemblyman, even though he's drawing a 6-figure salary with tax-free benefits as a state legislature, which he considers a part-time job. So this sort of misleading rhetoric. And one of the things that I was really concerned about is Mr. Jeffries put out a flyer, said that I and 2 other members of the board advocated prisoners getting out early to go on the streets, and then he cited a resolution of the board. Here's that resolution that he cited, and nowhere on it, Mr. Jeffries, does it say anything about the Board of Supervisors even contemplating or even giving any assent to any reduction in sentence for any jail or state prisoner. Okay, so if you're going to deal with the tough issues of the Board as the Board of Supervisors do, you have to level with the residents and the voters and the business people. You have to gain their understanding and support, and I think I've done that.
Thank you. Please join me.